Cults are often defined as religious sects, which can be extreme. Cults are often defined of light. In the US, we have the freedom to worship where we want to, as long as we don't break the law. But it turns out that's not so easy. In other places around the world, cults are strictly forbidden, and joining one could result in capital punishment. In any case, it's your choice to do whatever you want to, but just don't drink the Kool-Aid. From secretive underground masonic ritual groups to people who might take the Bible a little bit too literally.
Here are the strangest cults you won't believe.
But first, we'd like to give a quick shout out over here to this person who left this comment. We appreciate your insight, and we'll see you next time.
Number 11. Pastafarianism. Pastafarianism is becoming a more and more tolerable religion in recent times, but a lot of people just think it's downright bizarre. You need to have a little bit of a sense of humor to be a follower of these beliefs, and certainly an open mind. Their god is an all-powerful spaghetti monster who created the world in only 4 days while being slightly intoxicated. With the way the world turned out, you'd have to be a little bit tipsy the way things were created. Followers of the Pastafarian religion are known for wearing spaghetti strainers on their heads as a reminder that the Lord boiled for their sins. It's almost like a troll religion, but people are taking it kinda seriously. Some kids at school have refused to take off their spaghetti strainers as it would be a contradiction to their beliefs. The chosen people were of course the pirates because they had pretty cool lives and were always drunk. The Gospel of the Flying Spaghetti Monster is basically guidelines to live your life, and the author, Bobby Henderson, was paid $80,000 for his publication. The Netherlands and Poland do recognize this as a true religion, so maybe it's too soon to call it a cult. Number 10. Order of the Solar Temple. Also known as the Ordre du Temple Solaire, this is one of the craziest cults that hit Europe. It focused on a lot of ideals of the Knights Templar and included creepy underground rituals. It all got started by Joseph de Mombro in 1984 in the Swiss city of Geneva. Their main goal was, quote, correct the notions of authority and power in the world. Membership soared among the wealthy Europeans and French Canadians, partially from its mix of New Age philosophies and UFO religion. In 1994, more light was drawn upon the group when a horrible crime took place when they thought a baby was believed to be the Antichrist. Other members drank Kool-Aid and 15 poisoned themselves. Number 9. Charles Manson. One of America's most infamous criminals, Charles Manson had a frightening influence over his followers. He had his cult followers do the dirty work for him. He was the founder of what was called the Manson Family, which was a group of hippies in the 1960s. He found himself around crime from an early age, committing burglary and pimping. He would also preach philosophy about his life and how the end was near and racial wars would begin. He was found guilty of conspiracy to commit homicide of 7 people, including the infamous crime scene at Roman Polanski's mansion. This was where Sharon Tate and 4 others were discovered by police after his followers got a hold of him. Some frightening messages were also left in blood on the walls. Number 8. Cthulhu. Could a fictional book really bring upon a cult of worshippers? This is a seriously dedicated cult that has power over people's lives. Cthulhu is by far the most famous mythical creature who originated in the H.P. Lovecraft story called The Call of Cthulhu. This was published in 1928 in a magazine called Weird Tales. Worshippers of Cthulhu mythos believe that he will usher in a great age of darkness upon the world and wipe out all humanity as we know it. Many who weren't members of the cult still gave the book rave reviews as nothing short of a literary masterpiece. The fictional entity is described as an octopus, dragon, and human hybrid, but is just considered to be a leader of cults among many. From extraterrestrial origin, Cthulhu lived in the Pacific Ocean and is described as being at least 1,000 feet tall. To many, he represents darkness and the eventual extinction of mankind. In any case, this is a creature you can be glad is only mythical. The book also does tend to have quite a bit of detail of his mysterious power over people, considering it's just supposed to be a sci-fi novel. Number 7. Shinrikyo. Shoko Asahara became the leader of a dangerous cult and would pay the ultimate punishment for it eventually. A considerable amount of Japanese youth began following a new set of beliefs that incorporated ideas from Tibetan Buddhism and Indian Buddhism, but also Hinduism. The main god that was worshipped was Shiva, the Hindu deity. Yoga, writings from Nostradamus, the Christian Book of Revelation were all taken into consideration, and eventually, the dangerous doomsday cult was upon us. They thought a third world war would break out and that the US would initiate it. Shoko believed the Book of Revelation was insight to a coming nuclear Armageddon, which would be the final conflict. Once the world was wiped out, only followers of this religion would survive. To usher in the apocalypse, they used sarin gas in 1995 in a Tokyo subway, which caused 12 fatalities and over 1,000 injuries. The organization had also tried to obtain Botox gas and manufactured VX gas. The same chemical factory they used to make this would also manufacture LSD and other hardcore drugs to be used. Number 6. Voodoo. Voodoo in the Caribbean nation of Haiti is widespread and includes some strange rituals, as we're about to see. Some strange photos were taken in the village of Souvenance, which is located north of Port-au-Prince. It's here where followers of voodoo religion sacrifice goats, smear themselves in blood, and then dance in some type of religious ceremony. Worshippers must also wear all white and bathe in the bodies of water. Once the clothes are strained with blood from a sacrificed goat, they begin to dance during a pretty strange ritual. Number 5. OTO. This secret society is dedicated to the advancements in securing liberty of the individual or spiritual advancement of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. OTO stands for Ordo Templis Orientis, or the Order of Oriental Templars. They believe that whatever you decide to do with your life, it should be completely out of love. Religious symbols include ancient Egyptian gods and the devil, and also, it has a lot of Masonic undertones to it. This is considered to be a religious and fraternal society, and it's difficult to say exactly how it began. Some believe it originated in Germany or Austria between 1895 and 1906, founded by a wealthy Austrian businessman. This secret society is also known for private parts or nakedness. Other strange rituals are a little bit too secret to explain on this video. If you're still curious, you can try to schedule an initiation, but don't say we didn't warn you. Number 4. Happy Science. Members of this cult or religion have similar beliefs to Buddhism, practicing meditation, self-reflecting, studying the teachings of Buddha, and also praying. Reciting the Dharma of the right is the most important pillar of happy science and must be done each morning and night, every day. The spiritual movement was founded in Japan and criticism, getting labeled as a cult in the process. Some of it became a little bit too political, while they pushed for Japanese military strength, increased nuclear power, and the denial of some crimes committed by the Japanese during WW2. They're also quite suspicious of the Chinese and North Koreans. They reject the concept of monotheism, or the belief in one god, and feel as though there are many gods that deserve acknowledgement. According to Ryoho Akawa, it's just all about bringing happiness to society by spreading the truth. Number 3. Feng Gong. Could some people be persecuted as a cult if the government doesn't approve of what they're saying, or even for monetary gains? Absolutely. It seems to be the case with Falun Gong people who emphasize daily worship, greater emphasis on morality, meditation, and its spiritual teachings. The West has described it as a spiritual movement that doesn't have a god, with a moral philosophy based on truthfulness, compassion, and forbearance. In any case, though, the communist leaders in China saw it as a threat, essentially banning the religion, even torturing the followers. It's estimated that half of China's re-education work camps are populated by this group. Rumors began swirling around that turned out to be true, that many lives were being taken in order to supply China's harvested organ industry. It's estimated that there are roughly 10 million secret followers of this cult. Number 2. Church Universal and Triumphant. Although there are many sects of Christianity, this group had to make it on this list because of the frightening control they had over their believers. It was originally founded by Mark Prophet, and they also believed in some crazy stuff not mentioned in the Bible. They believed that the leaders of this cult were ascended masters or spirits of saints and mythological figures. It seems like the new Far Cry video game is loosely based on them, since many of the followers were from Montana, but also in California. Some leaders of the church also claimed to be messengers of ascended masters, and their words were published weekly in a magazine known as Pearls of Wisdom. During the 1980s, they began constructing many fallout shelters and prepared for the apocalypse, which led to some surveillance by the FBI. They've been said to have some strict control over their followers, using sleep deprivation as a form of control, as well as closely monitoring their social lives. Number 1. Bohemian Grove. Sometimes the most prominent men in the world also like to join cults, and whatever goes on inside Bohemian Grove is certainly one of them. This is a male-only, 2,700-acre retreat for highly ranking government officials, business leaders, big executives, and unbelievable things are said to go on here. By the 1920s, the Bohemian Grove became more cult-like after originally opening up as a miners and artists retreat. Alex Jones was the first reporter to actually sneak in without getting caught and prosecuted. What he found was quite shocking. He found out that they were worshipping an idol known as Morlock. This is a Canaanite god associated with child sacrifice. Not only that, but there are plenty of shocking mock human sacrifices that took place, and it's known for the cremation of care. The theatrical production seems to represent the shedding of guilt, empathy, and emotions that politicians seem to have to deal with on a daily basis. Other dark things are said to go on here, but if you want to see exclusive footage Alex Jones got, be sure to Google Dark Secrets in Bohemian Grove.